Okay.
All right, everyone. It looks like we are live. This is Freedom Boat Club of Tennessee coming to you with some announcements, some events to look forward to in 2024, new boats, just tons of stuff to cover with you guys. So I have a couple of our team members here. If you don't know, we've got Mariah Lawrence. She's our Chief Operating Officer and partner. Lots of great insight for you tonight. And I'm Angie Scott, the Middle Tennessee Membership Executive. And then we also have Jason Evans with us, our East Tennessee Membership Executive. So thank y'all for
Hoorah.
being here. Yeah, so I know everybody's getting excited for the season to start. Can't wait for that warmer weather. So to kick things off, we thought it would be fun to show a little bit of a hype video to get you excited, and then we're gonna get into the nitty gritty. I'll go over real quick before I show that, just kind of what we're gonna be talking about tonight. So we're going to kind of start off with a little bit of background on Freedom Boat Club in Tennessee. Some of you might not know some of the history. And then we'll go over an overview team update with just some new team members to introduce to you. Again, a fleet update, so new boats, stuff to get super excited about. Our social events coming up for you, both Middle Tennessee and East Tennessee. Reservation system updates, so just so you guys know what to expect as we get into season, and some toy updates as well. So here is the hype video. And by the way, feel free to comment with questions or anything. We're not going to have time to take comments and questions during this presentation, but we will be going through and replying back. So if you have any questions or anything, just feel free to type it in, whether you're watching on Facebook. I think this is going out to our Instagram and YouTube channels as well. So we'll check all of those. So wherever you're watching, just feel free to comment. We'll get back to you. And here's a little hype video to get you excited for 2024.
So fun.
Woohoo!
I'm ready.
Yeah, some
We're
of
all
those
ready.
people, I mean, some of them look familiar in that video as their staffers, dock hands. One of the other partners, Ross, is on there showing the training aspect. And then everybody else are you guys, members. That none of those people in that video are talent. So thank you to everybody that's come out and helped us with video and content over the years. So
Cool. All right, well, let's get into the meat and potatoes. Mariah, do you want to kind of give our members a little bit of background?
Yeah, so this is really fun. I've been with Freedom Boat Club for, I guess, it's 2024, so 12 years now, right out of college. I had the opportunity to work at the dock at a Freedom Boat Club location in Knoxville. So kind of worked my way up the chain over the years. So when you see that 10 years ago, there were 55 locations in North America. When I made this particular slide, that's how many locations there were. We went to the conference, which we have next week. Angie's going, some other teammates are going, and there are going to be hundreds of people there. And at the start of this, I went into a room with maybe 20 people. So it's super exciting. Freedom Boat Club was started in Venice, Florida in 1989, the very first boat club. Started franchising the business in 2005. So we are a locally owned franchise here in the state of Tennessee. I myself have been gifted some ownership in it over the years. Thank you, Bill Sheriff. And as well as some other locals here in the state. No one is a partner that is outside of the Tennessee. Brunswick is our parent company and our franchisor. So a lot of people think Brunswick, they think bowling and things like that. really that anymore. We are the Brunswick Boat Group, and they have a headquarters in Knoxville, Chicago. They own Sea Ray, Mercury, Boston Whaler, Harris Tritoons, and amongst other boat lines. I think there's 18 total brands. And then with that, today we have 411 locations between North America, Europe, and Australia. And with that, that number came from last week's update from corporate. And I'm sure there might be a couple more in the pipeline today. So super exciting. It's been a whirlwind being in this business and kind of seeing it from when I started to now. But it's really exciting, really fun. And I know you guys love your job. And I think a lot of our team really loves the atmosphere that we work in. So you can go to the next slide, Angie. So I kind of wanted to give a little bit of history as to who we are. So our LLC is M&B Boating Ventures. You might see that when your membership is drafted. It doesn't come from Freedom Boat Club of Tennessee. So that's our LLC. It was started in 2018. Just one little boat club on Center Hill Lake named the Southern Boat Club. The owner of M&B at the time purchased the Freedom Boat Club of Nashville franchise with 2 locations in 2020. Right, I think it was like January 1st was the official binding. 2021, so just a year later, we added Timms Ford and Gallatin to the portfolio. Timms Ford, one of the most beautiful lakes I've ever seen, and Gallatin was just kind of that untouched part of, I guess, the Nashville suburb area. So we're really excited to be there at Gallatin Marina. 2022, just another year later, we purchased the East Tennessee territory, and we started 3 locations right off the bat. That was really fun. And we're really excited to be in East Tennessee again. But it was definitely a crazy year. 2023, in the Knoxville area, we added Sequoia Marina on Norris Lake and Fox Road in the Knoxville area on Fort Loudon Lake. And here we are at 2024. We are now the Freedom Boat Club of Tennessee, no longer Freedom Boat Club in Nashville and Knoxville. We are the Freedom Boat Club of Tennessee. So really happy, it's the support of our membership that allows us to be of this stature, but also our team that is out there at the docks working hard every day. And we will have about 120 boats this year. So last year, I think our highest number was 102. Adding about 18 boats to the fleet this year. So really excited. And just to kind of give you guys a kind of picture of where we are in the state of Tennessee. On the very south side, we'll look very south and we'll start at Timms Ford Lake down there in Winchester. Really encourage you guys to go. We're at Timms Ford Marina. There's cabin rentals. And there's the Timms Ford State Park right across the way if you want to go camping. We'll head north on 24, and just above Murfreesboro, you'll see Four Corners, our biggest location. Most of our members are out of Four Corners. They're centrally just east of downtown. That is our headquarters at the Nashville Boating Center. That's our home office there, so not a location. It looks like it, but it's not. And then just a little bit north there, we have Cedar Creek there in Mount Juliet. Obviously, Gallatin Marina there, and heading east are 2 Center Hill locations, Hidden Harbor to the south, Center Hill Marina to the north, and keeping on going east on 40 that we all travel very often. We hit Tennessee National first on Watts Bar Lake. It's a community. They're building tons of homes. It's a really cool area. Really encourage you guys to take a look at it, especially if you're looking to live on the water. And then heading a little bit more east on the north side, we've got Fox Road right there in Farragut and Concord area, just south, Louisville Landing in Blount County, around the airport there in the Knoxville area. Our dot right downtown Knoxville, right down the river from Neyland, not even a 5-minute boat ride. And on the north side in Knoxville area, we have the most beautiful Norris Lake that we all have come to fall in love with, and really encourage our membership to utilize that new location. So 11 locations to start the 2024 season this year, but might have a couple things in the pipeline we look forward to talking about later.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about some upcoming events here soon, but Just a heads up, I think March 6th, we're planning on doing another one of these live videos for you guys to watch, and we're going to invite our location managers to join us at each of these locations. So I'll be able to kind of give you a more in-depth overview of different things you can do, and look forward to planning to do this season, and hopefully encourage you guys to go over to East Tennessee or go over to Nashville and check out some of these locations that you might not have been to. We'll talk about restaurants, just cool places to go boat, all sorts of things that our location managers, they really know these areas and can give you some really good suggestions. So be sure and stay tuned for that. And it'll be a little more interactive too, so we'll be able to answer questions and whatnot. So anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, so just a little bit of a team update. You guys get, really close with the staff throughout the boating season. So we thought we'd give you guys a little glimpse of an update. Nothing much has changed. Couple promotions here and there. Our membership coordinator or reservationist, as some of you guys see her, is Katie Manners. She's still there. She helps facilitate, training, getting with Jason in the East and Gary in the Middle Tennessee. She also helps with the reservation system, your account in general. She's just kind of that front line on the phone. We will send an email out here just in the next week that's going to have this video for the members that missed it, but also we'll send an update on phone numbers and things like that, just so everyone can refresh their memory. A promotion on the team is our fleet manager. It's a new position. You guys may recognize Jimmy's name, Jimmy Talbot. He started as a member, ended up working as a dockhand, became the assistant manager at Four Corners, and now he is going to be our fleet manager. Something that we desperately need. It's our fleet continues to get larger and larger. So the issues tend to rack up at times, especially in peak season. So we needed to sit somebody in that seat full time to be sure that we're coordinating our repairs and things like that. So really looking forward to getting Jimmy in there. So Alex Backhurst, you guys should recognize him from Four Corners, location manager. We have promoted him to the regional manager for Old Hickory and Center Hill. So he's going to be working with Rayburn. He's returning. Indiana is returning. John down at Hidden Harbor is going to be returning, and some more people on the team will be entering, and Alex will be taking care of those two regions. New to the team, brand new, is Tim Drake. If you guys have met David Drake over the years, our director of operations in Middle Tennessee, that is his brother. We're really excited for him to come on board. He's really, mechanically oriented. He loves boating. He has a lot of management history, so putting him into this location is going to be very beneficial to our operation, especially as it continues to grow. We had 29 boats at Four Corners this past season, so 2023, and we're going to have up to 35 this year. So just got to continue to put people in place there that can get it done. And Tim's Ford, we've got old Jeremy down there, still kicking it. Him and his wife, Jenny, not Jimmy, run that location. They have a great culture down there, especially mixed within the Tim's Ford area. Jeremy's going to kill me when he hears that. Jeremy and Jenny, not Jimmy. We have Tennessee National out in East, Liz Evans, the Evans last name, because that's Jason's wife, his better half. She's running that location and doing a great job. Ryan Cleesh used to be at Tim's Ford, was at Fox Road last year. He's returning. Brian Yules, love him to death, down there at Louisville Landing, doing a killer job. A little promotion is Anna from the downtown Knoxville location. She's also going to be managing Sequoia on Norris, so she's going to be doing 2 locations this year, and she's going to do an amazing job. If you guys have visited downtown Knoxville, you know that she's got some of the cleanest boats and one of the happiest faces I've ever seen. So just always a smile on her face. Operations supplier, so someone that members don't really get to see a lot. William Sheriff, he's driving around being sure that all the locations have everything that they need to get through the weekend. And of course, our director of ops, Johnny Knoxville, or Johnny Miller, whoever you are. And he's a great asset to the team, driving around, being sure that things are getting done in East Tennessee, and always having a smile on his face as well. And then I mentioned David Drake, and he is an operating partner. So he's one of the partners alongside of me, making all this work every day. And then, of course, we've got Angie, we've got Jason on the sales side, obviously sticking around. And I think I covered this slide. This picture is from when we got Franchise of the Year in 2022. So we like to show that off every so often. So
see what happens this year, huh?
Jason, you're being so quiet.
I know. I'm just listening. I'm learning a lot, and I'm seeing the pictures, and I'm reminiscing, and I'm just sitting here going, man, I've got my jersey on. You're wearing a flag. I mean, I had a little bit of hair. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun times.
Such good times.
So a really impressive number that I am not shy of sharing is that we completed just about 8,600 reservations last year. That is a huge number. I don't think that the team really understood how busy they were at times. I knew they knew how busy they were, but when you really think about it from, that around March, middle of March, where we're at just about now, and the end of the year, I mean, that's a lot of moving. That's a lot of cleaning. That's a lot of people coming through our docks and getting on our boats and having excellent experiences. We do a good job. We're transparent. Sometimes I feel like we've dropped the ball, but I can say that I think we're doing a really great job. So,
absolutely.
And to kind of show how we're doing, I did, if you want to go to the next slide, Angie. So I wanted to show you guys, I know whenever you complete a reservation with us, the next morning around 10 a.m., you should receive a survey from Qualtrics, basically asking you how your experience went. And I put this on here as transparency. On the left side, you can see my club, the 81 and the 4.73. That's where we sit as a company. So Freedom Boat Club of Tennessee on our NPS score up top of 81 and our club satisfaction score of 4.73. Just to the right, that's the all clubs, so the entire Freedom Boat Club portfolio. That's the total NPS score and the total satisfaction score. And if you as a person know how the NPS scale works, a 72 and an 81 are absolutely excellent scores. Now, that's not to say that we don't have anything to work on, because that would be a lie. You can kind of see on how that changed over time. During our peak season, June, July, August, we were kind of sitting just below 80. We made a couple changes based on your responses, and we were able to kind of pick back up and get us back to that mid 80s range is where we really want to be on our NPS scores. And then, of course, you can see our satisfaction scores just below that trend, and kind of see how we've corrected. And, we got a little gun shy for a second and kind of picked right back up. So when I share this with you, I just want you to know that these Qualtrics scores are extremely important to us. If you guys could take the time to fill it out, just so we know what our strengths are, what we know our weaknesses are, what makes this experience so great and what makes it not so great, because we do actively look at those regularly and we make fleet decisions on those. We incentivize our operations team on these numbers. And if we get poor numbers, then we know where we need to go to fix your experience. So soapbox is over, but I really appreciate the people that took the time to fill in those responses and continue in 2024 to let's try to get some more responses in.
It's great that 1,990.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. And I wanted to kind of go over the breakdown of reservations per location, just to kind of get an idea of, where everybody's going. You can really see at Four Corners over 3,000 reservations. That's a lot of foot traffic. We recognize that. Gallatin and Cedar Creek, Old Hickory, kind of right up behind them. Tim's Ford is extremely busy, and if you haven't been there yet, you should really try it out. Some of the most beautiful water in the state. Center Hill Marina as well, Center Hill Lake with Center Hill Marina and Hidden Harbor. The Tim's Ford, Center Hill, and Norris Lake are three of the most beautiful waters probably in the country. So I encourage you guys, if you haven't been there, to go there. And moving on, we've got the East Tennessee numbers. You can see, we just started our East Tennessee operation in 2022, and we got a really late start. So, these numbers aren't as high as our Middle Tennessee that's a little bit more established, but just to kind of give you guys some perspective on the numbers and the fleet numbers and things. And of course, these are numbers from 2023. So this isn't the accurate count as to what our fleet size will be in 2024, which you guys will be receiving soon. And so this is kind of just a little bit of a fleet update here. The 2023 fleet I mentioned, we got up to 102 boats, cool beans. David Drake has been hard at work on selling the 24 boats that we started with for sale. We've got 15 left. So if you go to freedomboatclubtn.com, if you have a friend that's interested in buying a boat, if you're interested in buying a boat, freedomboatclubtn.com, on the right side, you've got the boats for sale page. You can take a look at it if you want to. If you're curious as to what's being sold, you can take a look at that always. We're replacing those 24 boats, obviously, forever. And we are adding 20. So these boats will be added in slowly but surely as we ramp up the season. Our fleet is always at the biggest from mid-May to about, we'll say, after Labor Day weekend. After Labor Day weekend, depending on usage, always, we don't start ripping boats out of the water. But if usage starts to go down a little bit, we'll start pulling those boats that are due to retire out for refurbishment.
Sweet.
Ooh, look at these pictures. So this is only 25 of the boats that we've had come in over the past 3 months. The top picture are our Sea Rays, brand new Sea Rays that are going to be replacing and adding to the fleet. We're cycling out Monterey's and adding Sea Rays to be our bow rider of choice. The Qualtrics scores show that you guys really like the Sea Rays, so we're going to keep that up. Down at the bottom, we've got 10 Harris Cruisers, Tri-Tunes, 200 horsepower with the lounger in the back. We hear you.
Nice.
That just goes to show, your responses to these Qualtrics surveys are building your fleet. The Harris Cruisers of all the Tri-Tunes had the highest satisfaction scores. The Sea Rays had the highest satisfaction scores. That's why we're buying them. 3 new double deckers. I know that Liz at Tennessee National is really excited to get hers, as well as that membership base. I'm going to be adding some more double deckers to the fleet in Middle Tennessee as well. 3 Sweetwater Bowfish members. I know they will have trolling motors. We're adding a second one to Four Corners. Cedar Creek will have one, and Gallatin will have one. Those are due to go in the water here in the next couple of weeks. And a few surprises. So I am not going to tell you guys what the surprise is. I'm going to give you a hint. But we'll be teasing you with that surprise over the course of the next couple of weeks.
Very cool. All right, let's get into some events. We've been hard at work. Shout out to Nancy Parker, one of our members. She's been helping us kind of get ideas and plan, not just with the Boat Sisters, which is for those of you who don't know. We started Freedom Boat Sisters in the Middle Tennessee area last year with just some events for the lady members to get together and learn and socialize and just kind of network and get to know each other. So we had some fun events this past year, and we're going to keep that going strong in 2024. So I mentioned next month in March 6th, we're planning another virtual member social where we're going to highlight our locations and get you guys pumped up and some ideas of, to branch out and go to check out some of these different locations, and you'll have a preview of what to do, what to check out while you're there. But our big pre-splash party is planned for Saturday, April 13th at our warehouse in Hermitage, so just behind the Nashville Boating Center off of Central Pike. So we'll be sending out invites to that. Hope you all can attend. This is one of my favorite, most fun events of the year that we do. You'll get to see a lot of these brand new boats that Mariah was talking about in person before we start dropping them in the water at some of our locations. But we're going to have a food truck. Hope to bring the beer truck back again. And I would love to set up a cornhole tournament this time around. So
you're a professional.
Yeah, something that some of our members have requested because I think it'd be a fun way for you to get partnered up with somebody you might not know and kind of get to know them and have some fun. So yeah, that's in April. We're planning a Boat Sisters spring fishing event from Long Hunter State Park. Already have had some ladies interested in that. We do have a Freedom Boat Sisters of Tennessee Facebook group, so if you haven't already joined that, just search for that on Facebook and request to join. It is a private group just for our members, but it's a great place to go find out about these events, network, share ideas, and whatnot. In May, we're hoping to do another event at Tim's Ford, Hard Dock Cafe. We did it later in the season last year, and it was a lot of fun. Would like a bigger turnout this time around, but the members that did show up for that, we just had a great time hanging out, enjoying some great food, beautiful scenery there from the deck outside. Had some drinks. It was just a good time. And then a Boat Sisters event in May. We're hoping to do a sunset cruise from Four Corners Marina, so a weeknight thing. So that should be a lot of fun. Some of this stuff is still very much just kind of sketched out, so we're still working on finalizing details. But we met with Nashville Shores a while back and talked about possibly doing a member social event for you guys there. So that's a possibility for June. That should be a pretty big thing if we can get that put together. Then we want to highlight something over Center Hill Lake. There's a really cool venue. If you've ever been to our Hidden Harbor location, you've probably driven by a place called the Burlap Room, which is also a beer garden and a greenery. I guess I don't know what you call it, greenery. I don't know.
They grow plants.
They grow plants there. But that's a really cool place. And so we thought it might be fun to be able to do a member social event out that way. Maybe you could even make it like a weekend trip and get a boat at Center Hill Marina or Hidden Harbor and stay overnight somewhere. We'll give you some suggestions of where you could go if you want to make it kind of a weekend getaway type thing. But
so I have a plug really quick on that. Yeah. I have a good insight on Center Hill Marina. So they're building brand new cabins, like cool. Brand spanking new. They should be finished by the spring. I mean, I think, you should take advantage of, if you're going to go to that event, then, try to take advantage of those cabins. They're really, really nice. We got to see some pictures. We met with Center Hill Marina just last week, and we were able to see some pictures and kind of the vision of those cabins. And of course, they have their houseboat rentals as well that are, I think, only a couple of years old. So we're working with them on potentially making some type of a special offer for our members. So if you're a Freedom Boat Club of Tennessee member and you want to book something from Center Hill Marina, be sure to reach out to Katie, Angie, or Jason, and we'll try to help you guys get a pretty decent deal.
That would be cool. Sweet. Because those things are super nice.
Plug.
Sounds exciting.
Yeah.
And then another sunset cruise for the Boat Sisters in July, this time out at Cedar Creek Marina, so you can check out Old Hickory Lake and just kind of mixing it up a little bit. So East Tennessee, Jason's going to talk about their events next, but we thought it would be fun to kind of piggyback on East Tennessee and try to encourage some of our Middle Tennessee members to make a trip over to Knoxville and experience this Tennessee Vols hype. Do a tailgate at Volunteer Landing Marina in August.
There's no hype, Angie. It's the real deal over here.
What
it's
game
real
is
deal.
That one, Jace? Do you remember who they're? That's the kickoff, right? That's the
on the 31st. It's Chattanooga. So what is that?
Chattanooga.
Yeah, the moccasins.
That'll be fun. Cool. I will say, of all the games, doing this type of just experience is probably the best because it's going to be kind of a lower scale game. If we were to do this during the Florida game or the Alabama game, I think that everyone would just be really frustrated about actually just trying to physically get to the dock. So just know that there was a little bit of logic behind picking that particular game.
Gotcha. Yeah, and then Boat Sisters, fun idea is just to get together at the boating center and enjoy some food and do a little music boating themed bingo game. I think might be fun. We'll come up with some cool prizes and again, just networking and having a good time with the Boat Sisters. September, we did this, I think was it last year or the year before? I think it was last year. We did a social like happy hour at the East Nashville Beer Works, and that was super fun. It's kid friendly. They have a playground there, so it's great for families to come out, have a couple beers, enjoy some apps and some pizza, and hang out and get to know each other. Sketched out Boat Sisters, maybe a Top Golf event that might be fun. I don't know. It's just an idea. If you guys have ideas, comment, let us know. We'll try to work in whatever we can. We're always, open to hearing what you want to do. October, another piggyback on East Tennessee, a Vols tailgate at Louisville Landing, either the 12th or 19th of October. We haven't set that in stone just yet. And then another fall boat cruise for the Boat Sisters. We did that last year. That was a blast. Went and grabbed some lunch. This one, though, we're going to do at Center Hill. So, again, mixing it up, trying to get you guys to branch out, check out different locations. We'll probably grab some lunch at the Mexican restaurant there at Center Hill Marina. So that'll be a lot of fun for a fall event. Margaritas. All right, Jason, it's all you.
Oh, yeah. What I love more about this and seeing it all and being able for people to say, hey, here's what's going on in, Middle Tennessee. Here's what's going on in East Tennessee. It's like, guys, you're welcome everywhere that you go, So if something doesn't line up date-wise in Middle Tennessee, but it does line up in East Tennessee, man, come over and say hi. If it doesn't line up here, but it lines up there, go over and check it out, So, the whole idea when I sit down and I kind of look and start writing these little social calendars is to get people out of their bubble. Stop playing around in your little 5-mile radius and go experience something else, because with all 11 of these locations, there's just so much to do. And starting off kind of like with the boats, I think that's going to be an exciting time in March, being able to put together, like the pre-splash party. Even first and foremost, before that, we've got the boat show coming up at the very end of the month and running through the very beginning of March. I think that's going to be a great time to come down. If nothing else, say hello. We can walk you around and maybe you can see some of the boats that we're going to have before they even get to us. We can walk around the boat show and see some things, together, and maybe even find out some more insights and a little bit of insight on what's getting ready to take place. But, April for me really starts to ramp up. We've got our social event calendar that really kind of fires off, and I'm going to be doing a cruise all the way down to Chilhowee Dam. Don't know if anybody's ever done that, but I think it's super cool to be able to ride all the way down through, Fort Loudon, all the way up into Tellico, and, just the views, some of the restaurants we could stop at on the way. Really, we've got a lot of opportunity with that. And people make lifelong friends doing stuff like this. You're stuck on a boat with somebody for 4 hours. You already have something in common with these people because you're both in the boat club, So the next thing you know, you just met your new best friend, So I think it's great when people can come on and do stuff like that. I love the activities, whether it be surfing, tubing, wakeboarding. So I try to incorporate some of the surfing, which is what I'm going to do in May, bring, some of our members out who are maybe a little curious, don't know what they're doing, maybe have never done it before, and get a chance to go out with maybe me and Liz or me and Brian or something, and, get them out on the water and show them really that it's not difficult. If I can do it, anybody can do it. So June will be a little bit more relaxed. We're going to go up to Norris. As Mariah mentioned, my opinion, I think Tibbs Ford and Norris are probably two of the most beautiful spots I've ever seen in the country. So definitely make sure to come out, and check out the sunset cruise that we're going to do in June. July, I'm going to try to put something together with all of our Fort Loudon locations where we do a big scavenger hunt on the water, where I'm going to use Fort Loudon, I'm going to use Louisville, I'm going to use Volunteer, maybe try to meet up somewhere, have a list of photos that we're going to try to all meet back out on the water, and we're going to see who is able to complete the whole thing in the allotted amount of time. So, we'll be out there cruising around with you guys to answer any questions. So that should be kind of fun, something I've never done before. The tailgates with the Moccasins game on the 31st, down at Anna's place, that'll be kind of nice just because, you get a chance to hear that stadium roar, hang out with us, maybe take a boat out and go cruise down the Vol Navy right there. That'll be kind of just a neat experience if you've never done it. September, the Smokies game, for those of you guys who participated in the Ice Bears drawing that we did this month. It's going to kind of be the same way. We're going to just throw everybody's name in a hat, randomize it, pull a name out, and give everybody a good experience going to a Tennessee Smokies game, because that is one of our partners as well. So I think that'll be a good time. And then October, we're going to do another tailgate. This will be a little different. We're going to start it out of Louisville Landing, which means no drive, no traffic. We're just going to park at the marina. we're going to take a couple of boats and we're going to take about an hour cruise all the way downtown, ride through the Vol Navy, come back down to Brian's place. We're going to cook some hamburgers, some hot dogs, have some dessert there, and we're going to watch the Alabama game. I think I decided on the Alabama game on the 19th.
I think that's good. I think that's good. So I got to experience in 2022 the Florida game from the river in downtown Knoxville and the Alabama game. And I just sat out on one of the Sea Rays and just sat right outside of the stadium. And it was one of the cooler things that I've done. So I encourage people to add that to their bucket list. And if you can make it to that, I guess, Sailgate extravaganza.
Ooh, nice.
Ooh, yeah, you like that? I really encourage you to do it because we took, I think, 2 boats this past year, and people, were saying this is on their bucket list. They've just never had the opportunity. They didn't have the confidence because there is a lot of traffic. So having someone that's done it before, driving for you, letting you just sit back, relax, and get the best of it, I really encourage everybody to do that. So.
Yeah. And being able to come back and even just watch the game, everybody was playing cornhole and just talking, so
Yeah.
people ended up staying. And it even got a little chilly, because we did it at the very end of October, very beginning of November this past year. And we had people there still till at dark. I remember taking the one boat back to Fox Road. And of course, the wind was blowing, the waves, it was like 54 degrees. And I'm trying to drive with 2.5 foot white caps all the way back to Fox Road with all that stuff. So, I mean, it was a great time. And then, maybe try to close it out, do what we did this past year and just, have a big kind of member social into season party and get everybody together and, break some bread, have a couple of drinks and, just tell all the funny stories that we've had happen so far.
Lovely.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
And this is subject to change. So, we're looking for, input from our members. So if you all have a suggestion, if you own a business and you want to host a Freedom Boat Club social, let's talk about it. So don't ever feel like we're set in stone here. But
Yep.
yeah.
All right. Reservation system.
The reservation system. Okay. So currently, as you guys know, in November, we shorten the window to the off-season window of 45 days in advance. We do this every single season. From about November until March 1st, always. The reason why we do that is because we are shuffling a lot of boats. We are taking boats out of the water for refurbishment. We completely take them out. Some get new engines, some get a brand new look to them. Some of them get sold and replaced. So there's a lot of stuff going on that just helps that window is shortened so we don't have to go out months in advance to swap around, 100 reservations. So that's one of the reasons. Number 2, of course, in November, once we get out of daylight savings time, the days are much shorter. And with the cooler weather, people only boat for a certain amount of hours in the day where it's at its warmest. So we shorten the reservations to just 1 block a day for 1 reservation. And also, if we had just 1 reservation made, like right now that people could be booking into March or April. We do have to split the reservation times again. So it could cause the system to look very unavailable because all of these people from months ago booked an all-day session because that's how it was laid out at that time. So if that makes sense, if it doesn't make sense, reach out to Katie, reservationstn@freedomboatclub.com, and, just kind of ask the questions that you need to ask. We'll be sure that we're explaining that to you, but it is something that we will continue to do every year. All the inboards. So when I say inboards, that's the Sea Rays, that's the Crown Lines. That's the surf boats. Those boats are going to stay winterized until we get past our last freeze. Typically, that's around like mid to late March, early April. Tennessee's a little weird, as you guys all know, but we just want to be sure that we're not taking a big risk by de-winterizing, near 50 to 60 bow riders or inboard boats. And then we have a freeze and we lose boats because of it. So there's a lot of risk that comes to that. So just know that that's around the time typically historically that we tend to de-winterize those vessels. Next slide. So now that we're approaching March 1st, so we're kind of getting into that reopening point that we'll call it. So March 1st, just coming up here, we're going to extend the window to 60 days. So you're going to add another couple weeks to that window there. Come March 15th, we're going to split the reservations times to our historical, 9 to 2 morning block, 3 to sunset afternoon block. And it will return to full days, 7 days a week will count as 2 of your 4 reservations. April 1st, we're going to extend that window. We're going to shoot it out to 180 days. At that point, we'll have the time split, the days will be longer, and the majority of our boats are going to be entered into the system. We will, the surf boats and some of the bow riders, they'll start creeping in. But around April 1st, a large majority of the boats are going to be back in the water. Of course, the Tritoons right now are available to you all year. Of course, some of them are invisible because they're going to get refurbished or they're in refurbishment. You'll see some of those boats come out and then go right back in. So again, any questions, reservations, tn@freedomboatclub.com.
Gosh, April 1st will be here before we know it.
I know it.
All right. Toys update.
All right. So we hear you guys. We definitely hear you. Toys they're a tough one for us. And, some of that is due to, us and being sure that we do have enough for every location. And that's something that we're working on. Another thing that we really want to ask of everybody is that, if you're utilizing our toys, be sure to use them with respect. If one person's being rough with it because it's not theirs, that is going to cause the person right behind you to not have the best experience. So we're working on some ways that we can better that operation. And we really, appreciate everybody's input and your responses in the Qualtrics because that's ultimately changing the way that we do things. So to kind of announce a couple things, Liquid Force. So you saw some of those boards come in towards the end of last season. We are going to be buying all of our wakeboards, skis, kneeboards, surfboards, and ropes through Liquid Force from here on out. They're a great partner. They're great quality. They're strong. They're durable. And you guys seem to like them. So expect more of that. Again, if you guys need, if you feel like a location is missing some things or, the staff isn't getting you what you want, don't hesitate to let us know through those responses. But also know that if you're going out on a Saturday or Sunday and you request the wakeboard, the skis, the kneeboards, the tube, the this, the that, you might get politely said, can we save some stuff for the other members? So try to be respectful. And if it's something that you want every single time, we're working on some partnerships where if you guys want to buy your own stuff, we'll be able to get you some really good discounts. So stay in tune for that. We've got a couple partnerships that we're going to be announcing throughout the spring. One I'm comfortable enough to announce is the iRocker. So a lot of people know iRocker through stand-up paddleboards. They make one of the best in that segment. And we're partnering with them for our tubes and our ropes, inflatables. They have really great quality. We had last year a really hard time with some of our supplies just popping constantly and ruining a lot of experiences, even right out of the box. So we've partnered with them. They've given us a really great guarantee on the product. That's going to make our operation seamless with that and, be able to give you guys a really great experience. Check your inbox this week. I think we're going to be sending this link out as well as some other updates, like I said, the phone numbers, but also there is going to be a link in there to the iRocker website that is going to give our Freedom Boat Club of Tennessee members 15% off their entire website. There are some really cool toys in there. And I think that you guys are going to really, you should really take this and order some toys for the boating season. So we will have that link sent out to you this week, along with this link to the members that missed it online.
Very cool.
Sounds fun, huh?
Good stuff.
Very fun. Yeah, it's exciting. So we wanted to touch on peace of mind. Some of you, hopefully you all know that this is available. We just launched it last year in March. And what Peace of Mind is, if you're not aware, it's an add-on. It's optional. But, you have insurance coverage with your membership. However, if you ever did have to file an insurance claim, there is a $2,500 deductible for both the liability and hull and machinery damage. So potentially $5,000 in deductibles if something, God forbid, catastrophic happened and you had to file a claim. So peace of mind is something you can add on. It's $60 a month. But what it does is it would buy that deductible down to zero. So from 2,500 to zero for up to 2 claims a year. So potentially $5,000 plus it gives you $500 in just miscellaneous credit. So if something, minor happened, like you lose an anchor, tear a bimini top, something like that, the
Bust a
dock
prop.
staff, bust a prop. The dock staff doesn't have to come after you for it. It would just come out of that $500 credit that you have with your peace of mind add-on. And then it also gives you $1,000 in towing coverage. So obviously anything mechanical that goes wrong with the boat, that's on the boat club. That's one of the nice benefits about being a boat club member, is you don't have to deal with that. But if you ran aground or something and the boat needed to be towed, you get $1,000 in coverage. And that is not just good in Tennessee, but if you're down in Florida or you're in San Diego or anywhere you are taking Freedom Boat Club boats out, the peace of mind follows you. And, it's come in handy for several of our members. And then a few that wish they had it. So reach out to me, reach out to Jason. If you don't have it, we'll get you set up and make sure that you have that. And it's exactly what it's called, is peace of mind. So you don't have to worry about that stuff. Anything else to add on that?
I think it's good to say that, we're not putting this in place for any reason but to just kind of create a little bit of a piggy bank to fix the boats at the end of their life cycle. Sometimes when you guys come back, when you're really getting used to the boat or you're on a different boat, there's a lot of anxiety that comes with like parking and things like that. And we just want to strip that anxiety away. And if you barely bump the dock, we don't want our staff to be like, oh, look at this 2-inch scratch that you put on the boat. I'm going to have to, file an incident report. I'm going to have to get that fixed and this and that. That kind of gives us the ability to say, you know what, Mr. Smith, let's just ignore this today. Let's work on your parking and let's just move on. So that way you don't feel like we're just constantly coming at you for things. So, when you think of this, it's really just peace of mind. So when you guys are out there enjoying yourselves, you truly don't feel like you're going to completely mess up and cause your wallet or your bank account to hurt too badly. Boating's expensive. But also just, it gives us a little bit of movement on, replenishing our fleet and keeping them up to standard, because we do have high standards.
It's a stress reduction too. And
stress reduction.
Stuff happens. It don't matter how careful you are. Everybody's been out there in the water. It's like things happen sometimes. So when they happen, at least you're prepared for it.
I've been boating my whole life and I've dinged 2 props. And Angie, I know you're a professional angler and all that. And I know you've dinged a prop too.
I will tell you, so the majority of my boating is on Percy Priest. And as you know, has a lot of shallow areas. So before I started working for Freedom Boat Club, I did own a boat and would go out and fish, and had that boat 5 years. Within that time, I dinged 3 props. Now, since we started using Navionics, I have not dinged a prop once. So that's been a huge game changer. By the way, just a quick mention on the Navionics. They did go up on their annual subscription price. I think it used to be $24.99 and now it's like $49.99 for the year. So it is a pretty big bump on that app. But I think they've discovered how valuable their app is, and so they're taking advantage of that. But just a heads up on that, if you're up for renewal, don't be sticker shocked on that. It did go up. But we still stand behind it. Think it's definitely worth it to have. And
100%.
I use it in Florida or wherever I go fishing, whatever lakes. So super, super helpful.
100%.
All right. Wow. Well, we covered everything in under an hour. I didn't think we'd be able to do it, but I think we have.
Ooh.
It's pretty strong.
We kept
So,
Jason
yeah.
for talking too much.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I just kept getting text messages that was like, "Don't you say a word." It was like, well, I didn't do anything, guys.
So yeah, again, we're not going to take comments on here tonight, but comment, write your comments and we will be replying to them and getting back to you. And then again, stay tuned to your email inboxes. Like Mariah said, some important information coming to you soon. And also heads up for March 6th for our locations highlight virtual member social with some of our managers. You'll get to meet them if you haven't already. And we're super stoked for 2024. Let's go.
Yay.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you,
All right,
guys.
guys.
That was fun.
See you on the docks.